Hey, welcome back to Simply Gardening. We have a beautiful show for you this week. We're going to show you how to espalier a fruit tree. Have you ever done anything like that? Well, you're going to learn all of the steps this week. We're also going to plant some strawberries. They're bare root in your independent garden center right now, and now's the time to get them in the ground. We're going to show you how to do that. Stay with us.
Welcome to Simply Gardening. Anybody can do it. And here's your host, garden expert Mallory Gwynn.
It seems the more I garden, the more I like edible landscape, because I'm figuring if I just want a ground cover here, I might as well be able to walk over and pick something off of it and nourish myself. It just makes good sense to do. And it's not a bad ground cover, that is strawberries. This is what they look like right now at your independent garden center. In fact, if you buy a #1 container full of them, you get 25 crowns, and they're just really quite nice. It's a inexpensive way to get into a lot of strawberries. A little bit later on, they're going to be in 4-inch and they're a little more expensive. So a nice way to get started with 25. Well, about 4 months ago, I really started preparing my soil. Now, if you haven't prepared your soil that much in advance, it's not to worry. Just add some good organic material into your soil, and that's going to really help your plants. Strawberries are not deep-rooted plants, so they like a nice friable soil. A little bit of sand in there. Sandy loam wouldn't hurt a bit. And I've just put a little trench in here, and I'm only going to put about, maybe 12 strawberries in here. It's going to fill in nicely. It's full sun, and it's just going to be a wonderful thing to be able to pick the berries. See, I'm just going to lay them kind of down on the ground like that. It's not real rocket science here. It doesn't have to be complicated. I'm just going to give them a little bit of depth, and you'll see why I'm doing it this way in just a second. But I'm going to go through here and just put them where I want them, and then we'll fill them in. Okay, now I may put in a few more, not to worry. This is about right for now. Now, I've just left them like that because now I'm going to go back and just kind of fill them in. But what I want to do is make sure that you understand how deep you plant strawberries. And if you just pull a close-up right here, you'll see that there's the crown, there's the roots, and there's the new growth coming out. You want the soil level to be just right there. That's going to be the best production for your strawberries. If you go too deep, they're not going to produce as well. And if you go too shallow, they're just not going to grow as well. So planting depth on strawberries, there's no law against putting them too deep or shallow, but you're going to get much better production if you do that thing right the first time. And so you can see, I just want to get that depth correct, and that's why I kind of lay them out first, and then I go back and take a little bit of care with each one of them and get it at the right planting depth, and that's going to ensure some good strawberry production. Now, my kids love strawberries just like I do. These are fern. They're a day-neutral strawberry, and what that means is they're going to produce all season long. Now, I'm a huge fan of seascape strawberries, but I thought, why not try something different? You know, why get stuck on the same thing all the time? Well, maybe there's a good reason for that, but I guess we'll see at the end of this season. We're just filling in here now, and you can see we've just about got it covered, and it's going to be nice. It's going to flow over this. They're going to run a little bit and fill in here. The last thing I do always is I just leave always a little space, and I dress the top with some good organic mulch like this. Not only does it make it look better, but it makes it much, much healthier soil. Now, you notice I didn't apply transplant fertilizer down by the roots. Well, strawberries, they don't really like heavy fertilization. So what I like to do is I use transplant fertilizer because it's mild, and that's what they like, but they like it more often. So what I do on the top dressing is I just use a little transplant fertilizer. I still dress them with it, like that, just mildly, and I do that about 3 or 4 times a year, and that really is what strawberries like. Before I put things away, the last thing I'm going to do is water this in, and man, strawberries coming out our ears.